In this video, I'm going to be talking about famous 12-bar blues jazz songs. Hey, it's Paul Toby here from jazzmental.com. There are plenty of jazz songs, but some are more famous than others. And I'm going to play you the 5 that I think are the most famous. So I've been playing blues in a jazz format for many years, and I get a lot of requests. And I just find, based on the history and based on how many times they get played and how much musicians like to play them and how many times they get requested, that these are in my opinion, the top 5 most famous jazz songs. Stick around to the end. I'm going to play every single song for you so you get an idea of what it sounds like. And also, I'm going to give you a little bit of history into each tune. Let's get started. Okay, so these are the most famous 12-bar blues jazz songs, in my opinion. The first one is a tune called All Blues by Miles Davis. It was recorded on an album called Kind of Blue in 1959, and Kind of Blue is arguably the most famous jazz album of all time. It's definitely one of the biggest selling. The interesting thing about it is it doesn't do the normal jazz blues progression. It uses only 7th chords, which is interesting. And also, it's in 6/8 time, which is a little bit different. Let's play All Blues. Okay, so again, that was All Blues in 6/8 time by Miles Davis. The next one is called Baggs Groove. The interesting thing about this is the melody is the same for each of the sections of 12-bar blues. So there are 3 sections of 4 bars each, and the melody is the same, but the chord changes go through the 12-bar blues. So this is Milt Jackson's Baggs Groove. So the next famous 12-bar blues jazz song is Billy's Bounce by Charlie Parker. Now, if you know anything about Charlie Parker, the saxophone player, he typically wrote his compositions as jazz solos. So the melody, while it might not be totally memorable, musicians love to play this because it's like playing a Charlie Parker solo when you're playing the head. It is in F, and it's pretty straight ahead. So some like to play it super fast, some medium, but it's definitely an up jazz tune. So let's play Billy's Bounce by Charlie Parker. So the interesting thing about Billy's Bounce is when musicians play it, they typically play the head twice, just like I did, and then they'll play some solos and then they'll play the head twice at the end as well. All right, let's move on to the next 12-bar blues jazz song that is famous. And this one is super famous. It was written by Thelonious Monk, and the tune is called Blue Monk. A couple of things that are interesting about this: it's definitely on the slower side, and it is in B flat. So B flat blues is pretty much a typical key in jazz, although a lot of musicians like to play in C and F. But it also appears on almost every single live album that Thelonious Monk recorded. So obviously he loved to play this tune. Let's give it a whirl. This is Blue Monk by Thelonious Monk. So that was Blue Monk by Thelonious Monk. The last tune I want to play is another Thelonious Monk composition, and definitely Monk was really known for his compositions. Some of them are quite intricate and really, really nice and obviously popular. This tune is called Straight No Chaser. Now it's blues in F. And it's interesting because it kind of stretches the melody over bar lines, which is kind of unique. Musicians love to play this one. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to continue playing a little bit of blues soloing on it, and then I'll come back and join you in a few minutes. Okay, so there you have, in my view, the top 5 most famous 12-bar blues jazz songs. Just a quick review: All Blues by Miles Davis, Bag's Groove by Milt Jackson, Billy's Bounce by Charlie Parker, and then 2 songs by Thelonious Monk. The first one was Blue Monk, and the last one was Straight No Chaser. If you're a jazz musician, then you need to know these 5 tunes because they get called all the time on the bandstand, and it's a good idea to know the head. Even if you just play the blues, I suppose that's okay, but it's also good to learn and memorize the melodies for these tunes. So I hope that was helpful to you. And if you have any questions or comments, or you think another 12-bar blues jazz song should make this list, please post a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Paul Toby here. Thanks a lot. Head on over to jazzmental.com. We've got some cool stuff going on over there too. Cheers. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We're making 5 videos a week, just like this one, on various aspects of music and the music business. So I'd really appreciate it if you could come back and join me another time. Take care.